what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds, and in this video, I want to talk to you about SIC codes. A SIC code is something that you will need to give to Companies House when you set up a company. And there's many of you, of my subscribers, that are losing thousands of pounds and months of wasted time messing around because you're getting caught out by putting the wrong SIC code on your Companies House form. So this is something I was thinking for a long time. Shall I do a video on this to YouTube and just share to the whole of YouTube? I've been holding this back and I've been keeping this for my sort of inner circle advanced students, but I just couldn't bear it anymore when I was seeing people messaging me on Instagram saying, oh man, I've used this SIC code and as a result, I've had to close my bank down. And I just thought, man, I'm gonna share this for the whole of YouTube. So this is an extremely important video. Save it to your favorites, share it around because you do not want to use the wrong SIC code and end up getting bust. So firstly, what is a SIC code? A SIC code stands for a Standard Industrial Classification of Economic Activity. Wow, what a mouthful. What does that mean? That means Companies House, the government, they want to know what your business is doing. They want to know the classification of the business. So when you set up your company on Companies House, you'll set it up, you'll pay your £12.50, you'll give your details, your address, you'll tell them what your company's going to be called. My company's going to be called, Samuel Leeds Property Investments Limited. And then it'll say, what's the SIC code? And it will give you a list and you'll scroll through pages and pages of different SIC codes with different businesses. And most people scroll through and they just choose the one that seems most appropriate. So let's say you're doing deal sourcing or you're doing rent-to-rent or you're buying properties. These are some of the SIC codes. So there's SIC code 68100, which is for the buying and selling of your own real estate. SIC code 68209, it's for the letting and operating of own or leased real estate. SIC code 68230 is for the management of real estate on a fee or contract basis. SIC code 68310 is for real estate agencies. So there's all these different SIC codes, and you might think, oh, it's much of a muchness, who cares, I'll just choose one. No, this is where people are getting absolutely busted. When you're doing, let's say, rent-to-rent. Now this is a specific legal issue right now. When you're doing rent-to-rent, question is, what are you? Are you a management company managing the property for the landlord? In which case, if you're a management company, then you should go under on 68320, which is for the management of real estate on a fee or contract basis. But here's the problem with that. The way that we do rent-to-rents and the way that I teach and my students do rent-to-rents, they're not a management company. Because if you're a management company, then suddenly you are restricted by management rules. You now need to be registered with anti-money laundering before you can start trading. You now need to be registered with a redress ombudsman scheme. You now need insurances, all these different things because you've put yourself down as a management company. So if you're doing rent-to-rent, and again, this is not financial advice, this is just me telling you from my experience what is smoother. But if you're doing rent-to-rent, we put ourselves down with SIC code 68209, which is for the letting and operating of own or leased real estate. That's what it is. Because if you're a company let and you're renting a property and then you've got an agreement where you can rent it, you're not actually a management company. You're not managing their property, you're renting it from them with an agreement that you can rent it out. Samuel, what's the difference? Companies House don't care anyway. Companies House don't mind if you mix these up. You are correct. There's no fines or penalties if you get the wrong SIC code. But where you'll get tripped up is if you put your management company, what will happen is when you set your business up, the first thing that a business needs to do is what? Is to set up a bank. So you're going to set up a bank and the bank will say, oh, you're a management company. Before we can open up your bank, please could you tell us your anti-money laundering number? Could you tell us this? And you're like, what? Do I need all that stuff? And they'll say, yes. Because you used the wrong SIC code. This is why it's so important. So now you can't trade. Now you're like, oh my goodness, I can't even open up a bank. I'm gonna need to get anti-money laundering and this and this. You don't need anti-money laundering unless you're taking payments for over 9,000 euros or unless you are a real estate agent or management company. You're not. Now again, I can't say you're not. Maybe you are. Maybe in your contracts, you're using contracts that says you're a management company. So there's a lot here to think about to make sure that you are doing things technically correct. If you're an estate agent or a letting agency or a property manager and you haven't got anti-money laundering and you're not covered by redress to have the relevant insurances that you need that cost hundreds or maybe even thousands of pounds, then you're operating illegally because estate agents have to be covered by those things. And you're saying on your SIC code that you chose, I'm an estate agent, look, it's on my company's house. But then you haven't got those other bits and bobs. Now you're trading illegally and operating illegally. Why? Because you got the wrong SIC code, and the consequences of operating and trading illegally can be huge with huge fines. So that's why it's really important to get the right SIC code to begin with, and that's why I'm doing this video. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, hit like. Again, deal sourcing. If you're a deal sourcer, you might just think, oh, okay, I'm a deal sourcer. I'll use SIC code 68310, which says real estate agencies. Same problem. If you are a real estate agency, you need anti-money laundering, you need this. You're now an estate agent. You are saying that you are an estate agent. Are you an estate agent? Maybe you are, I don't know. The way that I do deal selling, I'm not an estate agent. When I do deal selling is I work with estate agents and I'll negotiate on behalf of the investor. I'm offering business services and support to my investor. And I'm sort of, okay, what are you looking for, Mr. Investor? Are you looking for a house that you can do this with? All right, I'll negotiate with the agent, I'll view the properties, and then I'll connect the agent and I'll connect the investor and I'll charge a fee. That is not me being an estate agent. And if I say I'm an estate agent, suddenly, woof, I've got all this added compliance and red tape, which might be unnecessary. So when I set up my deal sourcing company, I'm using the SIC code 82990, which is other business support. It's business support. My investors are buying these properties as a business investment, and I am offering support and services to help negotiate a good price and connect them to the agent who uses the SIC code that is different from my SIC code. So if I'm doing deal selling, I'm using the SIC code 82990. If I'm doing Rent2Rent, the way that I do Rent2Rent, I'm using the SIC code 68209. If I'm buying properties myself, like if I'm doing buy, refurbish, refinance, I've got a company that's investing in property, then I'm going to use the SIC code 68100, which is for the buying and selling of your own real estate. So that is a mini crash course on SIC codes. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to learn more about how to build up a property portfolio from scratch, set up a company, get deals, and you want the step-by-steps of how to do it properly and professionally, then come and join me at the Property Investors Crash Course, because that's where it all starts. It all starts at the crash course. Tickets are £1. I'll leave a link in the description. I'll see you there. Let's build properly, and let's do this.